but I've never actually used a brow pomade before. Hey friends! So today we are reviewing a bunch of new products. We're trying them out, we're finding ones we love, some we don't love so much, and I am really excited to show you some of these new products that I have been trying. If you enjoyed the video or if you want to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell, and let's get on with the video. Okay, so I was recording. I did start recording. I've done this side of my face with the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation. It's a little bit dark, so I'm mixing it with the NYX Total Control Foundation Drops. And we've done this side of the face with a brush. And it's okay, it's nothing amazing, but we're going to do this side with a sponge. The only issue is I can't... Oh no, it is still very dark. I look a little bit orange. I can't really review the foundation because I'm mixing it with the NYX one. But it is way too dark for me. And the only issue is I don't really tan, so that's not really going to help. But it does apply much better with the sponge than with the brush. It has much clearer coverage. It's much smoother on this side than on this side. I'm just going to match my shirt today and not my neck. Hopefully my powder can lighten it up a smidge. I'm quite happy with the coverage because I know that I'm not happy with the coverage of the NYX foundation. So the fact that I'm quite happy with the coverage of this foundation means that it's probably the Maybelline foundation that's pretty good coverage. I can't remember, is this full coverage or is this... Yeah, this is a full coverage foundation. So it's, even though a lot of foundations are marketed as full coverage, I never find that I have a coverage that really I like. I have a lot of freckles and it's not that I don't like my freckles, I don't mind my freckles, but it just, I like to have most of them covered rather than just having the odd one covered. Does that make sense? Okay, moving on to the next part, I am going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I'm going to just go under my eyes with this. This is going to be really light, so I'm going to try and not use too much. It's a good, I really like this concealer, so I just want to make sure that I'm using it, and hopefully it can lighten up this disaster. Well, it's certainly done something. I'm going to do a smidge of spot concealing with my Olivia Hale palette. This is just a little palette from, in the UK, I think it's from Home Bargains, and it's their own brand. So it was 99p, I think. You know, you can see it's not the best quality palette, but it does the job. If you're just, doing some spot concealing, then it's a really decent little palette. I'm not like 100% fussed about covering. I've got a couple of like acne marks at the moment, and I don't mind having them. This just kind of helps blend them into the background a little bit of this palette. So continuing with the face, I'm going to just set my under eyes and down the center of my face with the Maybelline Superstay powder. This is also in ivory, but I find this color is just, it's a lot lighter than the foundation. Well, it's the foundation looks so much lighter in the bottle, so but I've used this, I've been using it for a few days now and I really like it. I'm just going to use this little fluffy brush and I'm just going to dab it down the center of my face, my nose, where I know I get oily. A lot of my brushes aren't branded because they are cheap. And I got a lot of them as like presents for Christmas and birthdays, etc. So If I don't mention the brand of a brush, that is because it is an unbranded brush. Okay, now for bronzing, I'm not going to contour today, I'm just going to bronze. I'm using the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer, and this is in the shade Sun Glow, number 25. I picked this up, I was literally picking up a prescription the other day, and I picked it up, I found it, and I was like, oh, that looks good, and it was really cheap, so I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. And I actually really like the glow it gives you, because it is very much a glow rather than like a harsh contour, and I'm very fair, so I find it really hard to find a bronzer that I like that actually gives me a glow that I feel comfortable with and isn't too harsh. Does anyone else have the problem of like really struggling to blend stuff up into the hairline? Because I have that issue like every single time I do my makeup. I also always find that this side is much harsher than this side. I don't know, maybe it's because like my face isn't quite getting the light or something and I'm overdoing it. I always worry that I've really overdone my bronzer, and then like when I do half my face I'm like, oh, I've really overdone that looks so bad. And then I kind of do the other half of my face and I'm like, oh, actually it's not that bad and it looks more natural. And today, because my face is so orange, I'm obviously gonna have to do something about that. Okay, so now I've popped on my bronzer. I'm going to go in with the same brush for, oh, I have a new palette that I'm also reviewing for blush, and this is the Isn't It Peachy palette from Makeup Obsession. I bought a couple of their eyeshadow palettes a few weeks ago, and then I saw Jamie French reviewing one of the Belle Jordan palette, which was one of the palettes I had, and she got this palette and I realised I don't think I own a single blush. So I just kind of used the blushes that come in packets, so I thought I'm going to go for a palette. And some of these I'm a little bit worried are going to look too dark, but we're going for a very dark look today. Maybe we could go for a bit of a darker one. I really want to use this one, but I think it's just a little bit too pinky for this look, especially with the orange top I'm wearing today. So I think I'm going to go for this one on the end here, and this one is called Bloom, and I'm taking the same brush that I just used for my bronzer, and I'm just going to swirl it in there, tap off the excess, and then that is pigmented. Well, I guess I'm gonna look like a Russian nesting doll. That is incredibly pigmented. I think I'm gonna have to go over this with some powder. I'm gonna tap off some of it onto my arm, see if that helps. That's a bit better. It's still very, maybe it's just 'cause I'm not used to having a lot of blush on, but it's still incredibly bright for me. Oh my god, I literally look like I have 2 red dots. Okay, where's that powder? First of all, I'm going to go over it with that same brush that I used before, and I'm just going to go over and try and like tone down the colour a little bit. It's not really going to work, I don't think. I think I'm just going to have bright cheeks today. Not really. Okay, we're having bright cheeks today. Now I know for next time to really work that off on my hand or my arm before applying it to my face. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of that powder on a beauty blender. It's the same one. This beauty blender is filthy. Sponge is filthy, and I'm just going to go under here and see if I can tidy it up a smidge. That seems to have done nothing. I'm still going to try these other ones. Maybe this one, this hint would have been a little bit of a better option. But I'm still going to try these other blushes in probably the upcoming few videos or over the next few days, I'm not sure. But I'll keep trying those, and I'll keep seeing, I'll see if I can find one that is a little bit more my speed. This isn't looking awful now, kind of after going over it with the powder, but it's still quite far down because it kind of travels. It's blended okay, but it's not 100%. So we have a new highlighter to try today as well, and this is also from Makeup Obsession, and this was another one that Jamie tried out in her Makeup Obsession video. This is the Mega Destiny highlighter, and I love a baked highlighter, like more than anything. I love a baked highlighter, and my current favourite is my one from Estate. Let me see if I can find it. So this is my favourite highlighter at the moment. This is the Estate Baked Highlighter in Lit, the Dew Me highlighter in Lit. And I love this highlighter so much. It's the perfect highlighter, and it's only £10, so it's not exactly expensive, but this one is £3, so I'm kind of hoping it's a little bit darker, but I'm kind of hoping it might be a bit of a dupe for that one. So we're gonna give it a go. Let's give it a swatch first. I haven't even looked at this before. Ooh, that's shiny. It is very dark though, but it's very shiny. Let's give it a go. Let's see if we can make it work. This is not a conventional highlighter brush, this is an eyeshadow brush, but I like to use it for my highlighter because I have a very small face, and this just fits me getting into that like curve, like up to the eyebrow and coming around here. It just fits it really nicely. So, oh, it's a little bit powdery. It's giving me a bit of a glow. Not as intense as I usually like my highlighter, but that might be because this is a very dark foundation, and we've got bronzer on and a very dark blush. It's a very dark look, so I think it's good. Oh, it looks like it builds really well. It's not blending amazingly though. Oh, I do like that. It's kind of shiny. I like a very intense highlighter. I really like to pop. I'm going to start by priming my eyelids, and to prime my eyelids I'm going to use this Revolution Matte Base Concealer. I bought this a few days ago and I've used it a few times, but I find I really don't like it as a concealer. It just doesn't work for me, but I do like it to prime my eyelids. Previously I've been using just a regular primer, just as an eyelid primer, but it was really expensive, so I'm kind of glad that I found this as a kind of dupe for it. But yeah, this is the only thing I use this for. Maybe I should have done my eyebrows first. Let's do them now. I have a new brow product to try today, and this is the Makeup Obsession Brow Pomade in light brown. I think I've kind of looked at it a little bit. I swatched it on my hand so you can see there's a little groove there, but I've never actually used a brow pomade before. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't want you guys to judge me. I usually use a pencil. So I'm gonna give it a go, and we're gonna see how it works and how good it is. I think this was another one that Jamie French used, so that's probably where I got the idea from. This is a lot darker than I usually have my eyebrows, but it also kind of actually looks neater, I guess. Oh, my eyebrows are white. This eyebrow is so thick compared to this one, and I don't know why. Yeah, see, this one is just so much thinner than this one. I don't understand, because I'm following the natural shape of my eyebrow. So yeah, so that's maybe a little bit dark for me. It might look better when I've got some eye makeup on. I need like a spoolie, I think. Do I have one here? I don't think I have one here. Okay, this was the first one I found. It's just the Goof Proof pencil from Benefit, and I'm just gonna use the spoolie just to kind of blend it out and shape my eyebrows. I usually do this first, like before filling them in, so I think that's why it feels so weird as well. Yeah, that looks better. It looks a little bit more blended and not quite as intense. So there we go. Crisis averted. Okay, now my favourite part, the eyeshadow palette, and today we are playing with a brand new eyeshadow palette, and it's again from Makeup Obsession, and it is the London's Calling palette. I absolutely love this palette. It's so cool. I love all of the palettes from Makeup Obsession because you can remove the pans, and that's amazing to me. I love the fact that you can do that. I've swatched a few of these, not all of them. I'm not entirely sure what look I want to do today. I've got quite a warm look going on because of how dark everything is, so I feel like I should maybe play with like these colours, maybe. I'm not keen on this Kensington colour either, but maybe once I kind of get some of these darker colours on, I'll pop it on and see if I can brighten the look with it and see if that helps at all. I don't want it to look gaudy, and that colour just kind of feels gaudy to me. It doesn't feel warm, it just feels kind of like in your face. But I'll give it a go, and I'll play with the, I'm going to go with these like warmer colours. I'm trying to move away from warm tones because I use a lot of warm tones. I have very hooded eyes, so it really annoys me because my eyes, when I like close them, they're quite taut and they're quite smooth. But then as soon as I open them, like all of the colour I put here, it just disappears because you can't see anything. So I'm really, like, eyeshadows have to really work for me. Like, I have to love a palette. And I've really loved all of the other Makeup Obsession palettes I've tried. I've been really impressed by them. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be the same. So for my transition shade, I'm going to take this colour here, which is called Tea, which is perfect for me. It's just, I think it's a really nice transition shade. It's quite cool compared to the rest of the warm tones, but I think any of the other colours are going to be too dark. This is my go-to transition brush. I'm terrible and I don't clean my brushes enough. So I'm just going to swirl it in Tea. There's a lot of colour coming off that. I'm just going to buff it into just above my crease. It's not giving me a lot. Usually like these palettes have a really good payoff, but this is just not giving me much. Like I'm really having to work to get it off the brush. Yeah, okay, that's giving me a little bit of colour. It's a little bit of a harsh line here, but I have to go quite high up towards my eyebrow because otherwise you won't see anything. Let's see if I can recreate it on the other eye, but it's probably just going to be very, it's usually quite harsh on this side because it's not on my dominant side. So I'm just trying to be a little bit lighter and not digging in so hard as on the other side, because otherwise I know it will get quite harsh. But the only issue with that is this colour is just not paying off as well as usually like these colours do. And it's not exactly like the lightest colour in the world, so it's not that it's just too light, it's a perfect transition colour, it's fine. It's just not giving me a whole lot of payoff. Yeah, see, this side is just, it's so much darker than this side, and I'm loath to add more because I'm going to try and just be really gentle and just see if I can deepen it slightly. Okay, I think that's looking about even. I'm going to take a really small amount of that on my brush and I'm just going to bring it under the lower lash line. Okay, yeah, so we've just done the transition colour and I was going to go for some of these warmer tones, I remember now. And I'm going to start with, in the outer corner here, I think I'm going to go with this colour Royalty. And for this one, I'm going to use my Sigma E45 brush. I'm just going to dab it on ever so slightly, not pick up too much pigment. And let's pop it in the outer corner here. Yeah, see, this is a bit more pigment. Like, this has better payoff compared to the compared to that tea colour. And I'm also going to use this just to deepen the crease. I hate doing this side of my face. I wish I could, I wish I was like ambidextrous. It would just make life so much easier. So I feel like once again this side is a bit more like bold than this side, so I'm going to add a little bit more. This foundation, it's holding up okay. There's like some texture coming through here and here on my cheeks. In fact, there's quite a lot of texture coming through. Less so weirdly on this side. So that was the side we used the sponge with. So I don't know whether that must make a difference, but it's interesting that there's more texture coming through on that side. But again, that's like really close up, like in the mirror here, like it's okay. It's just when I'm looking really close up, again with like my chin, and it is creasing slightly in my laughter lines and in my forehead lines. So it's maybe not the most amazing foundation, but it's definitely, it's okay. It's not terrible. Okay, just because I want to play with this, we're going to add a little bit of this corgi colour, and I'm just going to bring this across like towards like sort of the middle of the lid, and we're going to see if that, I'm just going to add it to it just to kind of give it a little bit more of a colour transition. I'm really just adding this to the like outer half of the lid. I'm not really coming across too far. Okay, now for the inner half of the lid. Actually, you know what, before I do that, I'm actually going to take some of that corgi colour, and I'm just going to take it on like right on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to just take this under the eye as well. I really like it. It's a very purpley colour though, so I think you do have to be careful and not add too much, or else you might look like you got a black eye. Does anyone else like really struggle to do one eye compared to the other? I really struggle on this eye. Another issue I have with my eyes, as well as they're hooded, I have this weird crease here, which means that no matter what I do, it's like I can't get the colours to blend together here, right in the corner of my eye. It just, they do not blend together. There's always like a line here. So if you ever notice that and you're like, oh, she's not blending, she's not connecting those colours, I'm trying. Okay, I'm really trying. Okay, so now I've just got this like inner half of my eye to do, and I'm going to use a flatter brush to get a little bit more precise. So I'm going to use my Sigma E55, and I think I'm going to go in with this Rebel colour, and I'm just going to take that on my brush, yeah, tap off the excess, and just start kind of in the middle and try and get into the corner. Oh, you know what, I'm actually going to bring it across into the crease as well. That's okay. It's kind of a bit clumpy, like it's kind of getting a bit patchy in places, but I do like it. Yeah, it's gone a bit weird and patchy in places. I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush. So I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush. This is a branded one. This is a Luxie tapered blending brush. I do like this. I really like this brush. I got it, this brush, I got it in a, what's it called? Glossy box. I got it in a glossy box, and I do really like it. It's just got like, it's like clumping slightly. It's really weird. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's really strange. Okay, so that colour, it's not so shimmery anymore, but it's also kind of, it's like kind of gone over the other colours. So I'm going to just take a little bit more of that corgi colour and just blend it through. Okay. So far I'm not, you know, horrendously impressed with this palette. I've definitely used other ones with similar colours that I think I prefer, but it's okay. It's not amazing. I'm a little bit disappointed because usually I'm really impressed with these Makeup Obsession palettes and I really love them. But let's finish off the look and see whether by the end of it I'll feel a bit better. So I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to just go in with a little bit of that Rebel and just literally like tapping it on, and then I'm going to go under the eye with that. Just really lightly. I think as long as it's subtle, I quite like a bit of shimmer under the lower lash line. Yeah, just brightens it a bit, and I don't have really anything that can go in the waterline for this. Like, I don't even really have a black, so I'm not going to line my waterline and my under. Still think I need something to brighten it a little bit, so I'm going to take another flat brush. Let's take that one. Just a plain flat brush. I don't know if this is a branded brush, I don't think it is. And I'm going to take a little bit of this crown colour. Let's try it. I'm going to pop it under my brow. That's kind of nice actually. I've never used like a goldy kind of colour under the brow, but it kind of just does look like it's matching the highlight. It just looks like it's like blending in there quite nicely. Just kind of like tying the two looks together. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's pretty good. Actually, I'm going to use that to highlight my inner corner as well. So I'm going to use this, I think it's another Sigma brush. Yes, this is the Sigma Pencil E30 brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and pop that on my inner corners. Oh yeah, that ties the look together a little bit. I do like that. I do like that. And I just realised I forgot to highlight and contour my nose. Great. Oh, I'm worried actually that this highlight is going to be like a little bit too dark for my nose. I'll try it. I'm not going to contour my nose because I haven't really contoured, and my nose is actually it's quite thin. Like, I don't feel the need to contour it very often. So I'm just going to take my highlight brush, the same highlight brush I used before, dab a little bit and just pop it on the end of my nose here. It's not doing much. It's not doing a whole lot, but it doesn't need to. I'll pop a little bit here, see. And I never highlight my Cupid's bow because it never works for me. It just looks kind of weird. It just looks funny. I think I'm done with the eyeshadow. I think that's okay. I think I should have come up a little bit higher on this eye, on this side, because as you can see, like with my hooded lids, the colour comes up a little bit more on this side rather than this side. So I kind of wish I'd gone up higher, but what can you do? I don't know whether I can be bothered to do liner. I was going to use my ingot liner, but I really can't be bothered to do that, so I'm going to use a pencil liner that I got yesterday and I've only used once. So I don't know why I called this a pencil liner, because it's not. It's a like felt liner, and this is it's from Benefit, and it is the Roller Liner Eyeliner. It's just a matte liquid liner. It looks like that. It's really small. That's the only thing I don't like, is it's really it's hard to get in places. It came with an eyeshadow palette, which I haven't tried yet. I haven't played with that yet, so I will play with that at some point, either on or off camera. So I'm not, like, I've used it once and it's good, like it's got a good payoff, but it's nothing different to my other one, like my other gel liners. So I'm gonna start with this eye. I've kind of messed that up, but like I say, this eye just always looks bad. I'm gonna have said that, and now this eye is just gonna be terrible. The only thing I do find with this is you have to be kind of careful, because if you immediately like open your eye, especially if you have hooded eyes like me, it just transfers, so you've got to be really careful. Okay, I screwed up that eye a little bit. It's not quite even, but it's even enough and I don't have to go anywhere today, so that's that. Yeah, I like this kind of like subtle eyeliner look, like with a little bit of a wing. Actually, I prefer this eye to that eye. I feel like I really messed that eye up. And I know I do my eyeliner really weird, like with my eyes closed. It's just easier for me, again, because of this look, it's just easier for me, again, because of this like hood and this lid. It makes it so much easier to do it with my eyes closed. I kind of mark the point with my eyes open, and then I close my eye, and then I can draw the line nice and straight. I don't know if I'm going to bother putting on any lashes today. Yeah, I'm not going to wear any lashes. I would usually probably with this kind of look, because actually no, you could probably get away without it, because this is quite subtle look. So I'm going to find some mascara. Okay, so the mascara I'm going to go with is the Perricone MD No Makeup Mascara. I can't remember when I got this, but I had like, it's really cool because it's got a dual wand, you can see like that. So basically you use this flat side first and you brush up the lashes, and then you use the thin side and you use that to kind of lengthen them, so you get both like volume and length with one mascara, and it's pretty good. The only thing again is you've got to be really careful with this because it does transfer quite easily. So this is a great mascara for those days when you don't want to wear lashes, because it is quite lengthening and it is quite brightening, and it does kind of make your eyes pop a little bit. So this is a really good mascara. I definitely recommend it. I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was on the more expensive side of things though, but I know that they stock Perricone MD in Ulta in America, and I think you can get it online in the UK, or if you have kind of, I got it in Bicester Village, so kind of like an outlet kind of area like that, you might be able to find it. I don't think it's quite hard to get hold of in most places in the UK, but you can get it in Ulta in the US, so tips. Okay, so all we've got left now is lips, and I have 2 lip kits to choose from today. I just spat a little bit, I'm sorry. So these are my 2 to choose from. These are the Barry M lip kits, and I really like these. I tried one yesterday, the first one. It was like the 24 karat one. It was amazing. I'm not usually like a metallic kind of girl. Metallic I think actually would go really well with this eye look, so I'm kind of glad. I think that one's going to be too light, so I think it's going to have to be this darker one. But in this kit, basically, I think they were like £6 or £7 each, so they're not cheap, but they're not expensive. And you get, in this kit, you get a lip liner and a liquid lipstick. Oh, this one's a little bit separated. The great thing I found about these liquid lipsticks as well is when they dry down, they do not go sticky. They do not go sticky at all, and the colour lasts amazingly. It lasted me all day yesterday, all through eating, through I had a student. It lasted me all day, eating, drinking, through a stream, a live stream, literally the whole day. It was amazing. It didn't come off until I took it off. So it's such a good liquid lipstick. It didn't feel sticky at all, and it was just so luxurious. The only thing it did do is, because I have quite cracked lips, like not cracked lips, like I have good lips, they're not dry, and I moisturize them, like I use lip balm at least twice a day, like minimum. So, but it made them look a little bit dry. But I'm gonna go with the lip liner, and I'm gonna go all the way around, and I'm also gonna fill in my lips with it. So I've kind of messed it up a little bit over here, but I'm hoping it's not going to be noticeable. But even just with the liner, you can already see like the metallic kind of finish it's going to give. My lips do feel weirdly a little bit drier today. Like, it doesn't feel as luxurious as it did yesterday. And I don't usually really line my lips this much. I've gone a little bit overboard at the top now, but for the sake of this, I kind of wanted to try and overline them a little bit and see how it worked. This is the colour. Give it a swatch. Ooh, it's like the same colour as my nails. That's gonna be, that's gonna be dark. It does smell quite nice. I quite like that. It smells kind of like like a fruity kind of candy, or like a sweet or something, I'm not sure. That did not happen yesterday. This one is a little bit, I'm worried this one might actually be damaged. It feels a lot thinner in terms of like the formula than the one I used yesterday. I definitely overlined my lips at the top. But yeah, see, it's already drying down and not sticky. Not sticky at all. God, I hope that one kind of gets better. Oh, it's a little bit messy around the edges, I'm sorry. But the colour actually kind of goes, and it's a little bit dark for the rest of the look, which is ironic because the whole face is really dark for some reason today. It's nice. I preferred the colour I had on yesterday, but I mean, even as I sit here, I think it's just because I've messed up this corner. I've overlined it slightly on this side and at the top. But even as I sit here and say like, yeah, I'm not impressed, the colour is growing on me. But I do think it needs a more vibrant look than this. I think that this is too kind of more, not natural, but it's too subdued a look for this kind of colour. It needs to be a little bit of a brighter look. I think that's completely dried down. No cracks there, none at all. It's, yeah, already completely dried down, and that I know will stay for the rest of the day, even though it is currently 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay, so that is my finished look. I am not thrilled with how today has turned out. I think it looks very garish, especially across the cheeks. Just in terms of the face, I think the eyes and the lips were okay, but the face was just, it just turned out really garish. So let's go back and look at some of the products we've tried for the first time today. So for the first time today, I tried the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I love the coverage of this because it is so full coverage, but this shade is way too dark for me, and I think if I am going to continue to use it, I'm going to have to keep mixing it with lighter shades. What I might do is I might go into Boots or something, or a store where they sell this, and see if I can find it in a shade that matches me a little bit better, because I do love the coverage. It is getting a little bit kind of cakey in my laughter lines and in my forehead wrinkles. It's okay. I can live with it. I can live with it. And I didn't use primer either, so that might affect it as well. Otherwise, it was a decent foundation. I think I will use it again, and I think I will, if I can find it in lighter shade, this will go to my sister, who's darker than me. If not, then I'll just keep mixing it with a lighter shade. So we also used for the first time today the Isn't It Peachy palette from Makeup Obsession. I do really like this palette. It looks so cool, but the bloom, it's very, very pigmented. So if you are going to go for this palette, I think just beware that you need to make sure you're getting some of that product off before you apply it to your cheeks. I really want to try this one, so I'm probably going to try this one next time no matter what. The problem was just today my face turned out too dark in general. Also, the Makeup Obsession Mega Destiny highlighter. It's okay for like a natural kind of glow, but it's not popping, I think, as much as I would want it to. Let's actually give it a quick try and see if we can build it up with the finger. Okay, again, yeah, see, it kind of builds up, but it's still just not quite as poppy as I want it to be. I just want it to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more vibrant. I really like highlighters that just bam in your face, and this one just isn't quite enough for me. We also tried today the London's Calling palette from Makeup Obsession. Again, I'm really disappointed with this palette actually, because I love Makeup Obsession and I love the other palettes I've played with from Makeup Obsession. This one's just not screaming to me as much as I thought it would. Like when I looked at the colours, I thought that they were going to be really like kind of poppy and like bam and just fun, but they don't give as much payoff as I would like. But I definitely want to play with these greeny blue ones at the bottom and go for a more cool toned look, so let me know if you'd like to see me try and play with this palette again. And finally oh no, not finally, I forgot about the Makeup Obsession Brow Pomade. Again, I think this is a little bit dark, but actually it kind of works now I've got my hair down, like it's okay. I think I prefer a pencil just because it's a little bit easy to maneuver. and you need the spoolie. You 100% need a spoolie, like you can't just use this on its own. But it's alright for like a bit of variation, and if you do want a bit more of a sculpted look, maybe if I was going to carve out my brows with some concealer or something, then it could work pretty well. It's okay, again, it's okay. It's nothing to shout about, but I actually kind of like it. Again, like the more I sit here, the more I'm like, actually I kind of like this, it's kind of good. Again, I've never used a brow pomade before today, so it might just be a case of I need to get used to it. Now finally, we tried the Barry M Matte Me Up Lip Kit in Prestige, and again, actually, yeah, this is completely growing on me, I love it. I love these lip kits, I think they are amazing. The fact that 2 products there for like £6 or £7 I think is really good value. I mean, I think when I bought it, I thought to myself I thought it was a lip liner, a liquid lipstick, and a lip gloss. But you could pop a gloss over this, but I don't think you need to, because it is so metallic and it is vibrant. And it actually is really growing on me, this colour, so I am really happy with this product, and I will definitely be using them again. So definitely make sure you check out my Instagram and my Twitter, and let me know if there's any videos that you would be interested in seeing. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you ring the little bell so you can get notified when I upload a new video. This has been fun, and I will see you soon. Bye!